Hello and welcome to all the viewers. In this video, we will going to discuss about nozzle shell junction finite element analysis using Hypermesh as well as ANSYS parametric design language. So we will going to create a whole analysis deck for nozzle shell junction using Hypermesh, and then we will solve that HM file in ANSYS software. So this slide represents the learnings in this video. The very first part we will going to cover the Hypermesh learning. So as we know that when we need to create the analysis deck, there are different steps we need to follow. So the same step we will going to repeat in HM software instead of ANSYS. So if you see like the very first step, like we will going to know like how to define the element type, then real constants, then how to define or how to create the materials, then how to create the entity sets or components, and then next very important part like how to apply loads like nozzle forces as well as internal pressure using Hypermesh, then how to create the load step as well as load collector for the applied loading conditions. Then at the last we will discuss about how to create the control cards which are useful for a post processing, and then how to export the solver file for the ANSYS software. So these are the parts which we will going to cover in Hypermesh. In short, we will cover the complete preprocessor model in HM, and then we will carry that model in ANSYS, and then we will simply solve that model. Very first we will read the solver file which is created in Hypermesh, then we will solve that model, and then we will read the result. So in short, we will not going to apply any loading boundary conditions in ANSYS. All the analysis pre-processing part will be covered in Hypermesh only. So please stay tuned for this video. This is very interesting video, those who are using Hypermesh. So this slide represents the present problem statement of the video. In this we will going to create, or it is asking us to prepare the analysis deck in Hypermesh and perform solution in ANSYS software for the following loading condition. The very first like nozzle forces as shown in table refer the coordinate system. So basically the nozzle forces will going to act on the nozzle flanges. In actually when you will do the piping calculations, you will find that nozzle forces will act on the junctions basically here. So in that case we need to shift that forces and moments, and then we need to recalculate the forces and moment. At present we will directly apply on the nozzle flange face. Okay, so you can see that this is the coordinate system and these are the forces in X, Y and Z direction. And the next, the internal pressure of 8 megapascal. So basically this nozzle is subjected to the 8 megapascal internal pressure. So for this respective nozzle shell junction, we need to decide like where we need to put the boundary condition and where we need to apply the compensating pressure. So in short, what we will do, we will consider here as a constraint, that we will consider as a fixed constraint, and another two phases we will going to apply a compensating pressure. Okay, so let's go to the HM and let's start the video. So before moving to that, I will just take you through. Okay, so this is what our graphs engineering channel, where you will find that this particular playlist. So basically you will find that Hypermesh tutorials. You will find so many videos over here, from introduction to like washer creation, surface trim, how to create a component, then how to perform the shell mesh. Okay, and if you refer our last two videos for the HM, you will find that the present video we use this nozzle shell junction, and you need to follow these two tutorials before moving to or before going to perform this present video. Okay, so in first video we discuss about how to create or how to split the complete solid geometry so that we can create a mappable mesh, and in next you will find that we created a 3D solid hex mesh. Okay, so what we will do, we will going to use this same file for our present video. So let's go to Hypermesh now. So now you can see like this is what our Hypermesh file which we created in our last video. So without wasting time, let's start the video. So let's see, there are three different components. The first one is, you can say like shell. Okay, this is that shell part, and the next one you will find that nozzle part. This is the geometry, and the third one is nothing but the flange part. Okay, so these are the three different components which we created in a last video. So you can even create the single component. So basically the purpose of creating different components so that you can assign the different materials. Okay, now let's start with the first, that is how to define the element types. So in short, when you create the Hypermesh file using any particular software, you need to first define the user profile. So you need to click here before starting the any meshing activity. You first need to select the user profile. So as you know that we created this respective mesh using ANSYS profile. So by default it will going to create the same elements which will be available in Hypermesh. So let's see whether these are available or not. So you can go to 1, 2D or 3D, and here you will find that element types. Okay, so you will have different elements which are available here. Like for 1D, if you have any 1D model, 1D element, in that case you will find the different elements configuration. If you have 2D or 3D element, you will find the different element configuration. So basically at present our hex 8, so basically first order hex element should have a solid 45. Okay, and if you have second order, then in that case you should have a solid 185. Okay, so like this 185, if you have, even you can see like solid 95. So these are the elements which are available for the ANSYS. So by default it will going to take the respective element type. Suppose if you want to change the particular element type, so in that case you just need to select your respective elements from the display like this, and here you can change the respective element type. At present let's check whether our elements are up to the mark or not. Let's select the first phase, this review, and you will find that solid 45. Okay, let's check for this review, solid 45. Okay, let's check for this review, solid 45. It means that our all the elements are solid 45, so there is no need to change. We will go with this respective element types. Okay, now in order to, suppose if you want to change the second order element, so in that case you just need to go to order change, select all the elements. Okay, and here change the order, right, and simply click over here. Once you will change the order, in that case you need to go to element type, and here you need to select the second order element. Okay, so likewise you can define the respective elements in Hypermesh with the help of 3D element type and order change panel. Okay, this is all about our element type. Now let's discuss about the next type, that is real sets. So real constant, how to create a real constant. So in that case you just need to go to tools, and here you will find like component table, material table, element type, real set. If you click on the element type, here you can define the element type which you want to create. Like as we discussed, we want solid 45, create, close. Now there are one more element type will come into picture. So what is that? So as we know that we need to apply forces on the nozzle flange faces. So for that case we need to create the additional component. So let's go to first create the rigids, so that we can create a center node, and on that center node we will apply the respective forces. So here you can have a single node, select node, or calculated node. You can calculate the respective node, and here you can define elements. You can define elements or node. So like you can see like node, faces, edges, there are different options are there. So we will take the node and we will select by face option, so that it will select all the nodes on the face, and you can create the series. So basically this is what the element type. This element type represent the constant equations which are which you will find in the ANSYS create. Here also you can create RB2 or RB3 also. You can see here like RB3 or RB2 basically, right? But at present let's create the series, and as you know that these series are created in a shell element. So this is what our current component, but we want a different component for that. So right click, create, and here you can define widgets. And what I will do, I will move this to tool, organize, select the element, and here you can define the destination widgets, move. Okay, now you can see by color code also you will come to know that. Let's change that to red one. So this is, we created the respective rigid elements. Now let's go to on this respective node. As we know that we need to apply. So first change the, if you want to review that, you can review the element type. See, it is showing that series. So let's keep it series, constant equation, the rigid equations. And now let's go to masses. For this respective node, I will create a center mass point, right? If you will not create this center mass here, it will create a error in when you will open this respective file. So we will just create a simple mass create, okay, return. Now we created a one more mass element. So let's go to the properties, tools, element type, here create new, define here mass 21, create, then close. Okay, now we have created the respective elements as well as mask. Now let's go to further real set. Okay, and here first create the first relay solid 45, create, then create second one as mass 21, create, close, close. Now we have created real constant, we have created element type. Now let's assign to the respective components. So you can see here there are 4 different components. So let's select, and here you need to click editable. Now select shell, flange, and here element type, the first one set, yes, and real set, properties set, yes. Okay, so you can see like element type is defined, element type number, real constant set is defined, real constant number. So similarly repeat for the same set s. Okay, here we need to define see, suppose by default if you selected wrong element, in that case it will show you inconsistent element type. So let's set the first one because that is solid element. So let's repeat for the shell also. Now repeat real constant. Now check whether you have assigned or not. So now none is only for rigid. So here we created a mass element. So what I will do, I will assign that respect to mass element. Okay, now I think we assign element type as well as real sets. Okay, so now let's close this. Now the next part is to create the materials. So either you can create from here element type, or you can use this respective deck to create the properties. Like here you can define the card image, and likewise you can create the properties. Now once you will create here, you will find that expand, that two properties are created. Okay, now let's create the material property. So here you need to click on this structural steel. By default we will use, and you can define here card image, material, create and edit. Here you can go, let's define the density. So as we know that the density for the structural steel 7850, and regarding unit system you need to keep as it is, like whatever the units you will going to follow in ANSYS, the same units you need to follow in HM also. Now let's define the Young's modulus. So basically this Young's modulus for orthotropic material, if you have different Young's modulus in XYZ, you can define. At present we have 1 2 e raised to 5. Okay, there is some error, so let's go to update, structural steel, select, update, edit. So let's go for the we have created density. Let's first define the density 7850, and let's define the Young's modulus here 2 e raised to 5, right? And next define the Poisson's ratio. So let's keep 0.3. Okay, so these are the three different materials: density, Young's modulus and Poisson's ratio. If you have different Poisson's ratio in different direction, you can define from here. And these are the different materials which you can define, like thermal expansions and all this, which will be needed for your thermal analysis or any other analysis deck system. Let's return and update. Okay, let's go here for the, if you want to check structural steel, select, update, edit, and you can cross check whether all these properties are well defined or not. So let's return now. Okay, now we define that. Let's go further to tools, go to component table and select, here go material, set. Okay, once you define material, you will find that material structural steel is defined. So for this it is not required actually. These are the rigids, mass 21. Let's try with that. Close. So you can even, if we define from this component table, if you want to assign, right click, insert, assign, and from here you can even assign the respective material details or property details. Okay, so these are the two ways to create the respective, or to assign the respective element and property to the component. Okay, that is all about our element creation, property creation, material creation. Now the next part is to create the components. So for that, so basically why we create a component, in order to apply the different loads. So components, or you can say that entity sets. So basically here the terminology is entity sets. So like what we will do, we will create a different entity set. On that different entity set we will going to apply the respective loads. So let's first try with the Z negative. So basically Z positive we will consider this side, Z negative we will consider this side. So let's select this respective node and select biface, create. Okay, we created first Z negative. Let's create Z positive on another side, where we will apply the compensating pressure. Create. Okay, now hide the rigids. Let's nozzle face, by phase, create nozzle phase. Now let's create the another one, that is internal pressure, that is not required, but I will tell you. So let's suppose if you want to apply the forces, the pressure in HM in ANSYS, so in that case you need to create the entity sets. So on this respective entity sets we can apply loads either in Hypermesh or you can even apply in ANSYS. So let's node by phase. Okay, if you zoom that, it will show you that all internal nodes are selected, right? And create. So now if you see, like we have created the different entity sets which will going to reflect here also, like sets expand, you will find all different sets. Now suppose if you want to review that, let's click on the review and let's click one by one. So nozzle phase you will find over here, then next one Z negative, okay, similarly Z positive, and similarly internal pressure. Okay, so likewise you can review your internal sets, entity sets. Okay, so that is all about our entity sets creation. Now the next part is to apply the loading at boundary conditions. So for that case you need to go to analysis, and there you need to create the different loads. So you can find over here like different load cases, or you can say the different loading system like forces, movements, pressures, okay, like temperature, heat flux. So all you will find in a analysis deck. Suppose if you want to create respective load collectors, so let's click here, and here very first define, instead of applying from there, let's create first the forces, or you can just first create the internal underscore pressure. Okay, here you can define the color, card image. If you want to define color, you can define any like this and create. Okay, now we created a load collector, you will find over here, and inside this load collector it will going to create the respective load. So what we created, pressure. So let's click on the pressure, and here you can define what are elements on the element faces, or where you want to apply, like element by face, so there are different options, like you can say by collector. If you created respective collector, go reject. If you want to apply by sets, okay, if you have any element sets, in that case you can apply by face. It's not selecting, let's hide the rigid, and here element you can select the faces. So it will going to select all the internal faces, right? Let's apply on the faces. As we know that our magnitude is 8 megapascal, so let's apply the 8 megapascal the very first, and here you can create, and these are nothing but just to see the size of the label. Okay, so this is not required, we need to apply normal. So in that case you need to select this terminology normal and create. So now if you see that it created the respective load collector, that is internal pressure. Let's wait, it is applying face load to the solids. Okay, now you can see like here your respective loads are applied, and if you want to check the value, click on AB, and here you will find that 8 megapascal is applied on that respective node. Okay, let's hide that. Expand internal pressure, return. Okay, that is all about our internal pressure load. Now the next step is to apply the compensating pressure. So why we need to apply compensating pressure, and all these things we already cover that in our respective blog. So if you like, here go to www.graspengineering.com, where you will find that the need of compensating pressure, what is compensating for, so what is thrust pressure, and you will find the analytical, the equation, how we form that respective equations like PC-Com. So basically compensating pressure is equal to P internal divided by DO upon DI. So basically these are the diameter minus 1. Okay, so with this formula we calculated the compensating pressure for the shell face as well as for the our nozzle face. So let's select compensating pressure for first nozzle. So let's go to pressure. So now let's create the compensating load on, let's put that value which we calculated, and here you can either define by element or surface. Let's select the respective face and you can create. Okay, now if you want to zoom that, you can check that 4.5. let's expand, return. Okay, now we created this as well as this, two different pressure values, internal pressure as well as compensating pressure within a same deck or load collector. Suppose if you want to change that, you need to create another collector in that case. So let's use the same collector. Now let's apply the another. So let's select this, let's go to HM, hide this, analysis pressure. Let's select the other face of a shell, this one, and here you can apply that value. Create. Okay, now you can see that we created that value. Okay, if you show the label, then only you can see that. Let's check the label. Okay, you can see like 90, so approximately it is 90. Okay, now this is all about our internal pressure. So let's hide this. So now we applied internal pressure, that is first load case. Now the next load step is like go to analysis and then apply a forces. So for forces, let's refer our problem statement. So you can see like either you can create a local coordinate, you can, or else you can apply in a global coordinate, but you need to refer this coordinate system. So let's refer this and apply in a global coordinate. So x is nothing but our longitudinal, so like 15,000. Let's copy that and apply longitudinal 15,000. So like I right now switched on our rigids, and if you remember, we created a mass element over here or central node which connected on the complete face of the nozzle flange. Okay, so let's select this respective node, let's select the longitudinal axis, that is Z, and let's apply the 15,000 force. And so before that, let's create first another load created. So you just need to click over here, first return, go to load collector. Here you can see the forces, define the color, create. So now you can see here like the second load step is created, and on this respective load step we will apply the forces. So let's select the node further. Okay, this is what our Z longitudinal value create. Now we created that. Let's hide rigids. Now you can see like here it's a very small one. If you want to increase the value to display, you can see. Okay, now if you want to change the color somewhat darker, you can check. Now this is longitudinal. Let's apply the y-axis, that is transfer 7500. So let's select the y-axis here. Y here it is x1, and we will apply negative 7500. Select the node. Okay, on that respective node we will going to apply that force. Create. Now it got created another force. Now let's refer another one. Now 12,500 is in Z direction, it is vertical one. So let's refer here, vertical is y-axis. Let's apply minus 12,500. Okay, select the node, create. Now if you hide rigids, you can see like we have created a 3 different forces, right, in XYZ direction according to the local coordinate, and we apply in a global coordinate. So that is all about our the first load step is internal pressure. You can see with compensating pressure. If I can show the label, you can see here, or you can see. Okay, and the next one is forces, which you will find over here. 3 different forces we applied. So let's hide the label. Let's select these forces. Now we created the load collector. Now let's create the load steps. So before moving to that, so cross check further all the load components, like whether you need to always cross check, and you need to save the file in different steps, like save as, you can refer, and you can write 1 2 3 like that. Okay, so now let's go to the next step, that is load step creation. So we created 2 different load collectors, 2 different loads, and let now assign these 2 into the single load step. So before that, just apply the constraints. Okay, so we know that we need to apply constraint on this respective phase. So let's go to the constraint. If you want, you can create the load collector further. Let's define the fixed support neither. Fixed support, change the color, or let's make it this one. Create. Now you can see like third load collector is created. Now let's apply the constraint. Go to the constraint here, nodes by sets. Now we will going to apply constraint on the node sets. So let's refer, that is Z positive. Okay, this one, select. Now you can see here it got selected all the nodes. Now here, as we know that we need to apply all degrees of freedom locked. So you can see here, if you want to just apply translation, then just uncheck this. Okay, so likewise you need to select the respective degrees of freedom. Let's create. Now if you see here, you will find that it got, let's hide. Okay, now 1 2 3 4 5 6, so it means that all 6 degrees of freedoms are locked. So let's uncheck now. Now we created the third one also, forces. You can see forces, pressure and constraint. So this is all about load collector. Now the next step is to create the load steps. Okay, at present you can create a different load step, like first you can apply internal pressure, in second load step you can apply forces, but let's create a single load steps. So for that you need to click here in a load step. So before moving to that, I will request you all take a 10-second break and please like, subscribe, as we know that we are sharing a quality content, but there limitations on the likes and subscriptions. So please request you to like and subscribe before proceeding to the next step. So let's take a break of 10 seconds, and until that I will see as much as likes from you. So now I hope that you shared this quality content so that other viewers can also refer. Now let's create the next step, that is load steps creation. So here you can define load steps like nozzle loads or whatever you want, and from here load collector you can select different whichever loads you want to include in that. Just select that and here you can create. So once you will click on a create, you will find that it got created here. Expand. Now you can see, like, right? So this is what we talked before starting the video, like how to apply load collectors and how to form load step from the different load collectors. So this is all about the loading and boundary condition. This is very interesting. Like if you have different movements also, you can apply in similar fashion. If you have temperature loads also, you just need to refer this analysis decks. Just you can apply on a face, element, surface, points or lines. So in most of the software you will find that the different commands, but the unique way you will find, like if you want to apply forces, you can apply with either by on a nodes, elements, okay, or you can apply on a constant equations, rigids. So same way you can find for the pressure also, you can apply on elements. Here you can apply on elements, but if you go to the ANSYS, as we know that we have created an entity sets, on that you can apply that internal pressure. Okay, already the time is quite higher, so the video is becoming quite longer. So what we will do now, I will split this video into two different parts. Now this is all about the first part. Now in next part we will discuss about how to create the control cards, then how to create the, these are like the control cards, how to create the analysis file which can be used for the ANSYS software. So that is nothing but your CDB file which can read Windows, and also we will discuss few of the processing over here. Okay, so that's we will do in a next part. So thank you guys for your time. Please let me know your comments for this first part, and we will continue, or let's meet in a next part. So thank you.